My name is Natasha Mina and I am the female K1 kickboxing coach down at First Legion Gym. I'm also the This Girl Can ambassador for Leicestershire and Rutland. And over the past 5 to 6 years, I've helped impact over 50,000 females in the Midlands, around the UK as well, through the art of kickboxing and yoga, and also through sharing my story. I started martial arts, started kickboxing when I was 8 years old, and coming from an Egyptian background, my family is Egyptian and English, doing kickboxing as a girl was not encouraged, and actually I was very much discouraged from doing it and leaving it down to my brothers. However, what my family didn't realise at that time is how much I needed kickboxing, because I was harbouring a very big secret, and that was the fact that I was being sexually abused by my father from the age of about 4 or 5 up until I was around 13, and then again when I was 15. So this was a very big secret in my life, and I needed a way to feel strong, to feel powerful, and kickboxing helped me so much. So over time, my mum started to realise how important it was to me, and she took me there. She allowed me to go kickboxing, and I just fell in love with it. Every time that I left training, nothing else mattered anymore. I felt really, really strong, really powerful, and I believed in myself much more than when I first went into the gym. And I became kind of addicted to really kind of powerful roles, whether that was as a fighter, as an instructor, and then eventually I wanted to become a lawyer. Started competing when I was 12, and at the time I was the youngest person to compete at that gym. And it kept me focused, so even whilst I was at school, I felt different from the other kids. I felt like I was way more disciplined and way more focused on my future. I think my main goal, I went into survival mode, and my main goal was just to power through anything that I was going through. And my only method of doing that was through training and through pushing through challenges. So, you know, anyone who's got into a ring knows it's one of the hardest things, but yet one of the most rewarding things you'll ever do in your life. The nerves, the training camp, knowing that someone is training as well to beat you up and to win. And there was something very kind of exciting about that. I knew that because I was going through something, in my eyes, way tougher in my personal life, that getting into a ring in that sense was a lot easier. I was really, really focused at school. That kind of fighter's mentality carried through my school life, and I was just kind of drawn towards these really powerful roles. Like I say, I wanted to become a lawyer, so I did in fact go to a private law school, and I got my law degree, and I was a litigator for about 2 years. I had hundreds of cases, but I was using all my holidays to come back to my hometown, which is here in Leicester, and deliver kickboxing to hundreds of women, because I just believe that people need it in their lives, and people need to know that they have an inner strength inside of them. So I deliver kickboxing in order to elicit that, not to create fighters, just to elicit that inner strength that I know that every single person has. I'm by no means special, and I always try and convey that message, that it is just inner strength that we all have, and it's something that has to be found. Going back to the abuse, obviously when you've been sexually abused, when you've been physically abused, any kind of physical abuse, you have a disconnect from your physical body, and you don't have a good relationship with it. So of course, doing something like kickboxing, doing a martial art, it helps you reconnect, it helps you enjoy your body again and see the benefits of your body and everything that it's capable of doing. It also makes you feel safer inside yourself, and that you can trust yourself. It was a tough time, and in 2018, towards the end of 2018, I finally got my victory. And out of all the fights I've had in my life, like that was probably the toughest, but yet again, most rewarding. So in 2018, towards the end, I think it was October 2018, I finally got to see my dad in court, and I hadn't seen him for a good probably 10, 15 years at that point. So it was very nerve-wracking, but I'd been through this before. I've been through multiple fights where it's nerve-wracking and you've got to step up to the plate and give it everything that you've got, and kind of display everything that you believe in. And part of what I wanted to achieve there was to show my dad, you know, this person who, you know, could have ruined me, but I showed him how massively he failed. And that was really important to me, whether it was a guilty or non-guilty verdict. And now when I walk past the courts, I'm no longer nervous, because that is my place of victory. The same with any boxing ring that I've been in and won. It's your place of victory. And all these things, kickboxing, martial arts, mindset, going through abuse, coming out of it, they all link together. It's all just one big story. Everything is connected. In 2017, so just before my court case in 2017, I took up yoga. And years prior to that, I would have laughed if anyone said that I was going to be a yoga teacher or practice yoga, because my thing was kickboxing. But now looking back, kickboxing was the thing that made me feel strong and powerful, and yoga was the part that taught me how to heal myself. And so now I own Hot Pod Yoga, Leicester, which is literally upstairs from First Legion Gym. And now we can marry the two together, both martial arts and yoga, as a way to offer this kind of holistic package whereby you can improve your mindset, you can learn how to control your breath, and you can find your innate power that we all have, and use it to the best of your ability to smash your goals. If anyone is going through a difficult time, maybe they've been through a difficult time and that feeling is still lingering on, or it might currently be happening, my natural recommendation is a combination of both picking up a martial art, preferably a full contact martial art, and also picking up what I'd call like a yin practice. You've got your yin and your yang, and yoga is my yin, kickboxing is my yang. However, I also understand that even attempting to start these practices can be nerve-wracking in itself. And one thing that I like to remind people of is that if you look back at your life, you've got a 100% track record of getting through things. And that should make you realize actually how capable you are of starting anything or achieving anything. And another thing I like to remind people of is when you learn how to walk, because when you learn how to walk, you were really, really tiny, surrounded by giants, surrounded by adults, and they could all do the one thing that you really, really wanted to do, which is walk. And part of that learning process was falling over. Now, back then as a baby, as a toddler, you didn't know what giving up was. It wasn't an option, it didn't exist in your world, and you didn't know what embarrassment was. You didn't feel those things. Those emotions and those choices just did not exist, unlike today, unlike now as adults. So if we were trying to learn how to walk right now, there would be a bunch of us who would give up and just crawl for the rest of our lives. We'd be like, no, that's what those people do, but for me, crawling is enough. And we'd have a whole different class system. But the good news is that we all walk, we all learn how to walk in the end, right? So it shows us that part of our healing, part of the way of evolving and moving forward is unbecoming. It's stripping away what we've learned, all these bad habits, this embarrassment, feeling of shame, living in the past, and yeah, just putting yourself in that kind of box. You need to rid yourself from those chains and realize that you innately have everything you need. Everything is already there. you have everything it takes to get through it, and hopefully that can help you realise that you can step into the roles of being a kickboxer or being on the mat, because none of them require anything from you. Both the sport and the practice of yoga meet you where you are, and they're there to help you.